Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to G for G here on YouTube. Today we're taking a look at a mobile game called TaiChi Panda. This is a really fun game that is cross-platform and is available on iOS and Android. And if you have BlueStacks or Handy Andy on your PC, you'll also be able to play it there. However, not the most recommended way to playing this, as it can be a little laggy on PCs. However, the controls are pretty much spot on in that if I move my arrow keys on my keyboard, you will see I can move the character, so that leaves you free to use your mouse for ability usage. But more on that in a moment. So, little bit of a heads up for this particular game. Once you have it installed and you get started and you make your character and everything, occasionally when it updates, it will go ahead and return you to either the wrong server or a server selection. Be aware of what your server is and commit it to memory. This way you can find it in the list. It's broken down by regions like AU and Asian servers. Of course, I'm on a US server. I'm on the one actually called TaiChi. And my character's name is TaiChi. He's a panda. And he is called TaiChi after the long-forgotten viral, air quotes, Asian. I've never actually seen him. I think he's a white guy. But just a normal Caucasian guy who did this kind of hysterical Asian-styled rap, and he introduced himself as TaiChi. And that's where the inspiration for my panda's name came from. So, yeah, commit your server to memory, because sometimes when the game updates, it does not populate your existing server there. So you have to go and find yourself. And the worst thing that you could do is be like, oh my god, where is my character in this sea of like 40 billion servers here? Similar to Tiny Mighty Heroes Unite. So the game has several classes. It has a warrior class that reminds me of a little bit of Siegfried from Soul Calibur. It has a fox mage, which is a kind of diminutive ranged mage class, and it's actually not horrendously lolly. Sometimes with these Asian games, the small classes or the furry class or the little girl is like incredibly lolly oriented, and she's actually not too bad. The panda, which you will see here, the treasure hunter, and then they added a new class somewhat recently called the gunslinger, which kind of reminds me of Vincent from Final Fantasy 7, or a little bit like Dante in the Devil May Cry series. I'm really only familiar with the panda, as I've actually never played any of the others. Now, this game is a Diablo-style game, an action RPG. It's similar to Marvel Heroes, Diablo, Torchlight, Path of Exile, Grim Dawn. But when you go out in the field, you only have the abilities that are available to you at that level. So you're not going to be mixing and matching your skills. All your skills go with you, which is pretty cool. You're not worrying about, oh, I'm going to do this build, and I have to do this kind of boss, so I'm going to bring these talents. It's like Marvel Future Fight. All your talents are available to you. Gold is pretty plentiful in this game, and it is the more in-game soft currency. The hard currency that basically pertains to real-life currency is your diamonds. I have not spent a dime on this game, and as you can see here, my gold stores are tremendous, and my diamond stores are even good too. So pretty much the majority of where your money's going to get used is to upgrade your skills. It is not that expensive to keep all your skills up to date. With Marvel Future Fight, there comes a point where you don't bother to update some of your skills because it's really chewing up your resources. That doesn't seem that true here in TaiChi Panda. So if you're going to just do this as one of the games where you don't have a lot of time to play, so you want to make sure you do your daily clicks, You're going to want to go to bonuses. This is one of your daily click areas. Every day that you log in, and it doesn't reset if you miss a day, you get some rewards, and generally every month they give you stones towards a pet. This is similar to the DNA in Marvel Future Fight, the Crystal Shards in Marvel Contest of Champions, the Eternity Splinters in Marvel Heroes and whatnot. You build up these stones until you have enough to cash out and get a pet. If you already have that pet, the stones can be used to upgrade the pet. So I have a Spirit Maiden, so as I gain more Spirit Maiden stones, I'll eventually be able to upgrade my Spirit Maiden. When you go to Online Pack, if you've been online for a certain amount of time, you receive rewards here. And as you can see here, apparently I've spent a total of 600 minutes online. And I get... Wow, see? 50k gold over there. And 50 diamonds. So this game is not too skimpy on rewards. And you get some rewards if you share things on Facebook, if you like it. This is actually not a very cash grabby game. I've been very impressed with how little real life currency this game seems to want to take from you. And I'm at level 22, and it really haven't had to spend a dime on this. Pretty much you can get by with just, if you hit a brick wall, farm some older stuff, upgrade your gear, and you're good to go. It's a really fun game like that. By contrast, I think Marvel Contest of Champions sucks you dry. I think what you get for the money you put into COC is you get so little out of that game. But this game, I can't even tell you what you would get out of real life currency because I haven't had to use it. So I think that's really nice. You want to go to Dig every single day that you log in, and you're going to click here where it says free. Or you could dig 10 times for 900 or 1 time for 100. 100 is not going to make that big of a dent on me. Treasure is another one you want to hit daily. You get a free spin every 20 minutes or so. And again, 10k gold is not going to make that big of a dent. Or you get 1 free epic spin per 48 hours. So this is a little bit unique in, you know, the free spins. This is once every 2 days. I don't run into that too much. The store, you can see here that once you look at it, it's like, oh wow, now it doesn't seem to be that big of a bonus over here. $100 is only going to net you 3,200 gems, and I'm level 22 and I have 5,000. So as you can see, I have almost more than $100. Well, not almost. I have more than $100 worth of... no, actually, okay, I take that back. The 100 gives you 64 with a bonus of 32. So I have about somewhere in between $50 and $100 worth of diamonds in the games. And I haven't spent any money on it. And it goes down as cheap as 99. Here under items, here is where you can purchase some things for diamonds. And this is where you will see the tie-in with Ronda Rousey. If you've seen the commercials for that, you can get Ronda Rousey inspired outfits for your characters in the game. And this would cost me about half of the diamonds that I have if I want it. Not really that interested in it. You can get chests, you can get keys and chests similar to like what TF2 does. So bonuses, dig, and treasure are going to be your daily clicks. If you go over to system and mail, this is where you get fortitude from PvP and from sending fortitude to your friends. If they send them back, they'll appear over there. Backpack is pretty much the meat of your game. What you can do with your backpack is, you can see my gear here is predominantly mostly legendary with a few epics. to use WoW terminology here. You have greens, blues, purples, and oranges. When you get gear that you have no use for, like that blue necklace, what you do is you click on one of your pieces of gear, you hit upgrade, you click the slot, you hit fortify, and you can see it ups the damage and health bonus. You can also go to refine, and if you have enough refinement stones, you also can up the level of the gear. You can up the damage, you can up the health, and you unlock certain passives like damage plus 40, health plus 2100. You have these exalt zones that do something, which I haven't done yet because I'm not that level, so I've never exalted. You have combat pets in this game. These are pets that do things out in the wild with you. There are DPS-based pets, and there are healer ones. When you level up enough, you unlock some slots. If I've leveled up enough that, for me, Team 1 has a DPS pet for me, which is my Ice Phoenix, does a ton of damage, or my healer pet, which is another panda called a Boxer. Those stones that I was talking about go here. So if you do not have a pet, you can find them here, and you'll see I have 2 out of 10 soul stones for a Vile Spirit. The ones that I have will say ready summon, and they'll just say soul stones. When you get enough soul stones, even after you have a pet, like for example, if I click on this paladin, if I had enough soul stones, you can do a few things here, and you evolve them. Surge pills allow you to eventually push them into learning more skills, and the evolution also helps them out. Similar to what you do to your own heroes in Marvel Future Fight. Game's pretty robust that way, and really does throw the pet soulstones at you. It's not that hard to work towards them. Now, what you can do in the game is your PvP area is here under Fortitude. I'm pretty familiar with Arena, and there are other ones that are available. They open up as you level. I'm not that familiar with the other ones here, and I'm not really going to try them here on Handy Andy because of the lag of it. But Arena is similar to Marvel Avengers Alliance, where you fight an AI-controlled version of a human opponent. When you go to map, this is where you will see the worlds that you've gone through and your star rankings on each of the instances. When you do enough stars on a level, you unlock these warlord chests that you click on and you open up and you get these gifts. So here in chapter 2, I'm getting close to the big chest of 27 stars, and that is from 3-starring all of these instances that have these stars over them. And they have a variety of instance types. You have elite boss kills, you have survival waves, you have runs that are just about gold grabs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to one that I've done before and show you what it's like to be in a dungeon. Now, similar to the Blitz tickets in Tiny Mighty Heroes Unite, or the auto-click tickets in Marvel Future Fight, you have the ability to hit auto-loot, and this is where it runs the dungeon for you without ever going into the dungeon. And you have the ability to gain the rewards at the end. So if I was to hit auto-loot and just do it once, that's what I got out of the run without ever going into it. And it does burn your 1 out of 5 attempts for the day, and it does take away your quote-unquote energy. So we'll go into it and I'll show you what it's like to actually play the game. So that's the knight character over there. He plays very melee, big sword, very much like Siegfried and Soul Calibur. The panda is very similar to Karazim in Heroes of the Storm, or the monk class in World of Warcraft, the DPS version of it, the Windwalker. The others I'm not that familiar with other than fighting in PvP. So if you were to do this on Handy Andy, your arrow keys on the keyboard will actually control the character, and then you can just click your abilities like this. Music in this game is soft, pleasant, fits in nicely with the background, is not overwhelming, is not particularly loud or obnoxious. And of course, on most devices, it'll run better than here in Handy Andy using a VirtualBox on a PC. However, as you can see, the graphics on this are really pretty. This is a nice game for mobile. But you do need a relatively strong device to run this at full power. I mean, this is definitely a quad-core tablet and phone game. The good thing is that if the game detects that it's running a little bit poorly, it'll offer to drop your graphics down. It'll say, hey, I don't think your frame rate is that high. Do you want me to lower the graphics? And there's my Ice Phoenix pet, and you'll see just how much work that thing is doing at the end of the instance. So this was really fast because I'm very high level compared to the instance, so that's why it was a breeze. So here's my loot rewards. If I go to summary, I get a DPS meter, and you'll see that my pet did more damage than I did. If I wasn't that laggy, it would be a little bit closer, but DPS pets do their job in this game. They really do. And when you fight the harder instances, the Healy pets will keep you alive pretty well. So you're going to want to take one of each with you and toggle back and forth between what you need. In the higher dungeons, you may need to bring a healer with you. If you're just farming the lower ones for drops, definitely bring a DPS pet. You can almost just AFK out, and they'll do all the work for you. So if we go here to the backpack, and we hit sort, you'll see that here's some of the gear that I gained from that run, and I can just click on a piece of gear over here, go to upgrade, click on the plus, go ahead and slot these puppies in, and if I hit fortify, the damage went up, the health went up. You'll see that might counter appear a lot in the game. The might counter is just simply a representation of overall how powerful you are between your damage dealt and your health. It's similar to light in Destiny, or that raw number that you have in Marvel Contest of Champions. It's just basic, or item level in World of Warcraft. It's just a representation of overall how powerful are you, and it's used to determine a lot of things. Now you'll see I've dropped down to 79 from doing the dungeon live twice and auto ran it once. So it's you know, that was 8 that it took out of me. Obviously I can do that more than 10 times in a sitting until it recharges. So it's a decent amount. F is for fortitude. That is your PvP energy. And again, you get a decent amount of that one. If you were to hit map, where is it? What is it that I'm thinking of? Is it quests? So you could, you can knock a few of these things down and get some more screen real estate. There's quests. I'm looking right at it. So if we cancel out of this and we go over here to quests, it gives you a lot of things you could do. You can either do like the story from Marvel Heroes, or do achievement runs like go and defeat Crackshot. Go to Crackshot's tomb and defeat Skeleton Crackshot twice, and then I'll get some diamonds and some gold. Or I can refine a piece of equipment to level 3, or surge pets. So similar to Marvel Heroes, you can do, or not Marvel Heroes, Marvel Future Fight. There's a lot that you can do to get currency. And here's a daily tab that I have never actually clicked on before. I don't know if this has always been here or new, But apparently, there are now new daily things you can do. Complete any instance 5 times. So if I go back and do that 2 more times, I will get... I think this is a fortitude recharger. Pickpocket 3 times, that's PvP. Upgrading a pet. So okay, now we have daily tasks that we can do in the game. The game is a lot of fun. I really recommend it, especially if you have relatively powerful phones and or tablets. Obviously iOS, everything is set for you. I cannot really predict what you would need to run this well on iOS, whether it has to be the iPad Air and mini generation, or maybe on an iPad 3 or 4 to work good. I honestly don't know, and I haven't played it on iOS. Android, I would definitely go for quad-core devices. My Sony Xperia Z tablet actually does not play this particularly well, but the NVIDIA Shield tablet, this is a phenomenal game for the NVIDIA Shield tablet. It's really the only other device I run it on. I could try it on some other devices, like some of the Samsung Galaxy Tabs or the LG G Tab, and see how it runs there, but if you got an NVIDIA Shield tablet, great game to run for the Shield tablet, because you can map the controls to the joystick, and you can play it joystick way, and that increases the amount of fun you could do, because then it becomes a real action game at that point. So there is TaiChi Panda. I hope you enjoyed a look at this game. I would recommend it if you've got it. I don't think it's a real cash grabby game. It's been fun. If you like action RPGs, your Torchlights, your Diablos, your Marvel Heroes on the PC, I think this is a game you could have a lot of fun with. If you have a joystick for your tablet and use TinCore or something to map out the controls, I think you'd also have a lot of fun. Graphically, it's pretty. Sound effects wise, it's great. Challenge wise, I think the curve is good. I have no complaints about the challenge on this thing. Music is kind of soft. You don't see a lot of like currency spammers in the game or anything like that. So it's just a real fun game to play. It is by Snail, who did, I think, Age of Wushu on the PC, is Snail Games. So they do some mobile and PC games. They've got a pretty decent pedigree. And I think it's worth looking into. I consider it a lot of fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video here on G4G. Take care.